Do you think that the most expensive gaming pre-built PC that we've tested on this channel is actually worth $4,400? You're about to find out. They did let me borrow this to review, but I assure you that all opinions are my own. This super PC is a CLX Horus with an i9-12 900K processor, an Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 GPU, and 32 gigabytes of 5600 megahertz of DDR5 RAM. I know you're already rolling your eyes at this price, but CLX is not your typical PC brand. It's a fully custom system integrator for gamers to craft a build suited to their personal needs and wants. And every system comes with free lifetime tech support. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and giving you my first-hand impressions, setting it up and taking a look at the internals, as well as showing off some gameplay. Looks like we've got some nice protective foam pieces in the corner to keep it safe. Congratulations on your new CLX system. Our highly skilled technical support team is here to help. So kind of them. Please remove the foam inserts before first use. So what do we got in this small box? Got a bunch of brackets, some skinny brackets, and then we've got a big boy Mac Daddy bracket. Then we've got another side box, CLX Gaming. So we've got a remote for your RGB and your fans. Wow, so we've got two different remotes for RGB. Interesting. Your two antennas for your Wi-Fi, your massive power cable, a bunch of different screws for inside the chassis, some extra SATA cables, a little fanboy sticker, Velcro zip ties, optional magnetic dust filter. Yeah, this is a lot of extras. Got a fancy little case that says CableMod on it. Let's see what's in there. Bunch of white PCIe cables, an entire installation guide on your Samsung solid-state drives. Ours is already installed, so I'm not going to worry about that. A special dedicated keycap for your keyboard. Interesting. Little keychain. Then we've got a software setup guide for your AsRock motherboard, and then a quick installation guide for your AsRock motherboard. Probably the biggest installation guide that I've ever seen. Not so sure how quick it would be to read all of that though. And then we've got an installation guide for your actual case. Honestly, I gotta give them props for giving us such detailed information about this computer. That's incredible. So let's pack that back up and get on to the main event. Well, that's kind of concerning. This must have happened in shipping, but the side panel is completely off the hinges right now. I'm trying to take this out without that side panel just falling completely off. So as you can see, the review unit that CLX had available for me was the inverted 011 case. I like my ports and GPU label to be right side up, so I'm actually going to take this apart and flip this over manually. And in doing so, I found another area that wasn't properly secure. Two of the corners for the radiator were both missing screws, and one of the corners had a screw that was too small for the bracket, so it was literally held on by one screw. This was an easy fix though, using some of the provided screws, and there didn't seem to be any serious damage. Once I fixed that, I flipped the feet and the bottom USB to the top to uninvert the case. You'll probably just want to purchase the non-inverted one though. So jumping into the internals on our Z690 Steel Legend motherboard, the first thing that'll catch your eye right off the bat is this large CPU cooling block right there in the center. This takes heat from that incredibly hot i9 processor and extracts it, pulling it in up through these tubes where it's then spread through this massive 360 millimeter radiator, where that heat is quickly pushed out of the case with these three large fans. There's a bunch of other fans throughout the rest of the chassis. We've got 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom, and then 1 on the back. This gives us a total of 10 fans in this chassis. And then right there in the middle, 2 sticks of 16 gigabytes for a total of 32 gigabytes of our GSKILL Trident Z5 DDR5 RAM at 5600 megahertz, and then our armored SSD drive. This one's a super fast Samsung 980 Pro Gen 4 X4 SSD drive. And then beneath that, the most important part of this beast of a computer, that beautiful Nvidia RTX 3090 GPU. This thing is just massive. It's so powerful that it requires an 850 watt power supply, minimum. And behind that massive GPU is our removable Wi-Fi card. Now for the ports on the back, we've got a BIOS flashback button, 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, and a PS2 port if you've got an older keyboard or mouse, an HDMI port and a display port, and 2 connectors for your antennas, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C port, and a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A port, 2 more 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports and a 2.5G LAN RJ45 Ethernet port, and it's even got an optical SPDIF out port for higher quality audio, and then a rear speaker port and subwoofer. And at the bottom, your microphone, line in and line out. And then beneath all of that, your ports on the back of the 3090 GPU, an HDMI 2.1 port, and 3 display ports. And then for the ports on the front, we have a USB Type-C 3.1 port, 2 USB-A 3.0 ports, and a headphone and microphone combo jack. And then on that front corner, a power button, a reset button, a color mode button for controlling the RGB lighting effects, and a static color button for cycling between 7 different solid colors. Alright, now that I uninverted this case and got everything right side up like I like it, let's go ahead and turn her on and get her all set up. I'm not gonna lie, that is one pretty nice looking case. That is beautiful. Aside from all of the software controls, we've got this handy remote right here that allows you to control all of those on the fly. You can change all the colors at once, change between auto settings, change your fan speed settings, a little Vegas effect here, that looks pretty cool. But I'm gonna go back to the motherboard default, which is just fading between the different colors. This little rainbow effect. Looks really nice. So far, I'm really liking this premium pre-built. When it comes to the actual quality of the components inside and the overall layout, it doesn't get much better than this. And you already get the feeling just by looking at it that it's going to cool the computer pretty well. Now, I'm about to give you a quick look at some gameplay, but keep in mind all of this gameplay was done before any updates. It's always important to do that test first right out of the box because sometimes updates actually break things and make them worse. And in my full review, I'm going to be giving you a much more in-depth look at overall performance, as well as everything else that you'll need to know before making up your mind and purchasing this very expensive computer. But if just watching the gameplay at the end of this video is enough to solidify your decision to purchase this computer, then please remember to use my affiliate links in the comments and description below, as I get a small commission at no cost to you for every single purchase made. And it's a major factor in keeping this channel going and getting better and better for you. Or if you just want to support this channel and want to see your name here at the end of my videos, then please consider becoming a channel member by clicking on the join button below. And remember, every week I do a giveaway that randomly selects someone who's interacted with this channel in some way or filled out the form in the description. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on to stay up to date with that, as well as staying up to date with all of my latest gaming PCs. And make sure to ask any questions that you might have in the comments below so that I can address them for the full review. If you're publicly subscribed, not only do I guarantee a personal response, but your comment gets replied to first. Alright, now let's jump into that gameplay. So jumping into Call of Duty Black Ops 4 at 1080p, these are all of my extremely high settings that we're working with. Let's go ahead and jump forward a bit, maybe find some noobs, show you my shooting skills. Oh, I mean, get caught on fire. There's a kill. So just over 320 frames per second. That's crazy fast. Now jumping into 1440p, let's take out this noob right here. Oh, I got this guy though. Oh, I got a King Slayer award on that one. I have officially made it. I'll write it down. Another one. Another one. DJ kill it. So just a little over 260 frames per second at 1440p resolution. Temps are pretty normal on the CPU and GPU as well. And look at that GPU power. Nearly maxing this computer out at that 350 watt limit. Now checking out 4K. Love doing that. Get out of here. Yeah, so at 1440p and 4K resolutions, this is the fastest computer that I've ever tested. The highest frames per second that I've ever seen in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Now for Red Dead 2, these are all of our insanely high graphics settings on this beautiful game. Get myself a horse. Thank you kindly, sir. Looks like we're averaging about 140 frames per second. Not bad, but I've seen better. Now let's check out 1440p. Upgrade my horse by borrowing this guy's horses or get killed. So it looks like a little over 120 frames per second at 1440p. And the temps aren't too high either, being in the 60s. VRAM is getting a little toasty though at 100 degrees. That's pretty typical though. So what about 4K? Get myself a chariot. Oh, that was a rough fall. Sorry, sir. 85 frames per second. That's actually exactly the same frames per second that I got on that Skytech Prism 2 that I reviewed. So basically it tied as the fastest in this game as well in 4K. And the winner for this week is...
The Twin Gamers.
Thanks for watching, guys. I love you guys. God bless.